Ever noticed how some Disney couples are just made for each other, but they aren't always in the same movies? Thanks to fanfiction, we can see some amazing Disney crossover ships. Stay tuned to find out our favorite Disney OTP. Hey Disney fans, if you are totally obsessed with all things Disney, you should click subscribe. Now let's get into the 10 Disney crossover couples everybody ships. Milo and Jane. Our first Disney crossover couple is Milo from Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and Jane from Tarzan.
Oh, I'm in a tree with a man who talks to monkeys. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is good. This is very good.
These two characters have a lot in common. They are both stars of seriously underrated Disney movies. They are both smart and love learning, and neither are afraid to go on an adventure. We think this might be one of the cutest ships ever. We know what you're thinking. They are already paired up with other couples. Jane ends up with Tarzan and Milo ends up with Kidda. But we think that Milo and Jane are a much better ship. They can talk about all their nerdy research interests together, and they can go on all sorts of fun expeditions. Jane needs someone who can match her intelligence and keep up in conversation. Milo is that guy. She will help him get out of his shell, and she won't think he's crazy with all his research. We aren't the only ones who think so. Check out You Dropped Your Pen on fanfiction.net. It's by Flowers and Fudge. It's an AU setting, so you don't even have to worry about the story messing with canon. In this one, Milo has a huge crush on Jane and tries to win her over. Maleficent and Jafar. Even villains need love, right? Maleficent might be the evilest villain of all of Disney. She was the sorceress who cursed Aurora in Sleeping Beauty, and she did that all because she didn't get invited to Aurora's birth celebration.
16 years and not a trace of her. She couldn't have vanished into thin air.
She is powerful, and she can even turn into a dragon. Then there's Jafar from Aladdin. He is the royal vizier of the kingdom of Agrabah, and he is a total power-hungry psycho. Once he gets a hold of the lamp, he becomes super powerful. These two have a lot in common, and it may not be the healthiest relationship, but they are a perfect match. If you want to see a bit of their relationship, check out fanfiction.net. Jafar and Maleficent was written by Demons and Vampires. It's a funny one-shot with a heavy dose of romance. It's all about Jafar wanting to go public with their relationship, but Maleficent isn't so sure. As far as Disney villain ships go, this is a pretty popular one. Hey, do you think Maleficent and Jafar from Descendants could end up together? That would make Jay and Mouse stepbrother and stepsister. Which villains do you ship together? We think Jafar and Maleficent are a match made in, well, not heaven, but someplace. Merida and Rapunzel. Sometimes people wish Disney movies had a bit more representation, but thanks to fanfic, you can find all sorts of couples. And we love seeing a couple princesses in love. Rapunzel is a pretty common ship in the fanfic world. Both Merida and Rapunzel represent the more modern chapter of Disney princesses. Merida is the first ever princess to not have a love story. She shies away from tradition and wants to create her own destiny.
I am Merida, firstborn descendant of Clan Dunbrog, and I'll be shooting for my own hand.
She's uninhibited and a little bit wild. So is Rapunzel. She knows exactly what she wants, and she isn't afraid to go after it. Plus, Merida and Rapunzel are about the same age, and they can bond over their mommy issues. There's a great story on Wattpad by Thoreau. A brave and tangled love is about Merida off on adventures around Europe. She meets Rapunzel, and she instantly thinks she's beautiful. She needs a place to stay, and Rapunzel invites her to stay with her. And the rest is history. It's a great love story, and it's got 32 chapters. You'll keep wanting more, but luckily there are several more Rapunzel stories out there. We can totally get behind this ship. What about you? Marie and Oliver. Fanfiction isn't just for the human Disney characters. There's something out there for just about every fandom, and we are kicking it old school for this next ship. Remember when Disney made 2 films about cats? Oliver and Company was a 1988 movie about a kitten named Oliver who was taken in by a pack of dogs in New York.
Hey, that's him over there.
Hey, kitty, what took you so long?
The Aristocats came out in 1970. It was about some spoiled rich cats who end up lost outside and meet up with an alley cat. Marie was a kitten from the Aristocats, and she was the cutest. Oliver and Marie show up in fan art every now and then, but they have also made a fanfiction appearance, and we are all here for it. Go Girl 1100 wrote The Aristocats 2 Lost in New York on fanfiction.net. In this story, Marie finds herself in New York City and she is totally lost. She meets up with Oliver and they fall in love love, but then they get captured by Cruella de Vil. It's a triple crossover. It's got love and adventure, and it's so cute. Oliver and Marie are made for each other. Honestly, we can't believe Disney didn't think of it first. Check out this awesome story for some great Disney vibes. Tiana and Dimitri. The best thing about fanfiction is the crossovers that don't have to be in the same fandom, and there are some amazing ships between Disney and non-Disney characters. This new couple pairs Tiana from Princess and the Frog and Dimitri from Anastasia. The 1990s princess cartoon Anastasia honestly feels a lot like a Disney movie, so it's not that far of a leap. It takes place around the same time as Princess and the Frog, and we already know Dimitri has a soft spot for princesses. Our New Orleans was written by Pure Shikon. It's a one-shot story on fanfiction.net, plus it has characters from other Disney movies too. It's an AU where Dimitri is brothers with Milo from Atlantis and Jim from Treasure Planet. And this story is so romantic. It's written from Dimitri's point of view. He meets Tiana when they are just kids, and it's so beautifully written. Then they get older and things change. It talks about how time changes friendships and about friends falling in love. It even touches a little on race relations in New Orleans. It's a little bittersweet at times, but it has a happy ending. This story totally made us fall in love with the Tiana-Dimitri ship. Merida and Hiccup. There are a few Disney, non-Disney crossover couples which are more popular than most. And you can't talk about crossover ships without talking about Hiccup. With How to Train Your Dragon 3 coming out, it's the perfect time for some Hiccup fan fiction.
Is this what you want? Yeah, go get it.
And he is often paired with Merida from Brave. Merida gets a lot of attention in the fanfic world because she doesn't have a canon love interest. Hiccup is perfect. Vikings definitely made it to Scotland in their travels, so it makes sense that they would meet. Merida and Hiccup are both sort of outsiders in their communities at first. Merida doesn't want to get married. She's too adventurous. Hiccup isn't your traditional tough Viking. But what if Hiccup is exactly the man Merida needs? She definitely wouldn't be scared by dragons, and she would help pull Hiccup out of his shell. There are so many great Hiccup stories that it was hard to choose our favorite, but we love The Brave and the Bold. It was written by Loquatorius on fanfiction.net. In this story, Hiccup competes for Merida's hand in marriage at the competition from the beginning of Brave. Can Hiccup win the heart of a princess? Who doesn't want love? It's both funny and romantic, and it feels so true to the characters. Are you a Hiccup shipper? Keep watching to find out one of the most popular Disney crossover couples ever. Belle and Cinderella. We love princess ships, and Belle and Cinderella might be one of the best femme/Disney ships. These two are both classic Disney princesses. Belle is quiet, reserved, and bookish. She is brave and would do anything for her father, and she really believed in true love. Cinderella does not deserve how she was treated by her stepmother. She was kind and quiet, and she made friends with mice. Just like Belle, she dreamed about a new life and true love. But what if their happily ever after wasn't in the form of a prince? Maybe they're meant for each other. There are a bunch of stories out there that ship Belle and Cinderella. Some are from the live-action movies, and others are from the cartoons. But they are all pretty great. On fanfiction.net, there is a fic called Who Needs a Prince? It was written by A. Zap. The basic premise is Belle finds out that Prince Adam is not very faithful now that he's human again. Cinderella's relationship just kind of fell apart. After all, they had only shared one dance before they fell in love and got married. But now she owns a restaurant. Belle stumbles onto the restaurant. Belle stays to help work there, desperate for something new. We love cafe AUs in fanfic, and this one is great. Alice and Peter. We love when we see fics about underrated Disney characters. Alice in Wonderland is a Disney classic about a girl who would prefer not to do boring things like schoolwork. She stumbles into a magical world called Wonderland. Peter Pan is about a boy who never grows up in the magical world of Neverland. Sounds like a match made in heaven, right? Both characters are a little immature, and they both have friends in magical worlds. It's perfect. Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan crossovers are fairly common, and they often involve Alice falling down the wrong rabbit hole into Neverland. But this one is a little different. Alice and Peter, written by Twilight Sparkle 3562 on fanfiction.net, is very similar to the original Peter Pan story. Alice's family tells her she must grow up, but she doesn't want to. Peter comes and takes her to Neverland, but then there's a huge twist. The Queen of Hearts has teamed up with Captain Hook to search for Alice. It's a drama, an adventure story, and a romance all in one. Will Alice and Peter stay together in Neverland? You'll have to read it to find out. Megara and Beast. we have to include a rare pair just for fun. You may not think these two characters belong together, but this fanfic may just change your mind. You might remember Megara, or Meg from Hercules. She's a sassy woman who is pretty convinced she doesn't need love.
Nice shooting, Rex. Looks like your game's over. Wonder Boy's hitting every curve you throw at him.
We love her attitude and bravery. Then there's Beast. He's a bit, well, beastly. He's not refined, and he definitely needs someone to put him in his place. And maybe locking a girl up as a prisoner isn't the only way to meet someone. Fanfiction has a lot of AUs that are really common, like being roommates, cafes, and schools. And there is a lot of Disney high school fic out there. This Meg and Beast story takes place at an all-Disney high school, so you'll get to see a lot of fun characters. How to Be a Heartbreaker Part 1 was written by Kiara Jade on fanfiction.net. In this story, the Beast goes by his human name, Adam, and all of their friends ship them together. But Meg isn't so sure. It's a really cute, funny story, and it's totally made us fall in love with this rare pair. Could you see Meg and the Beast being a couple? It would certainly be interesting. Elsa and Jack Frost. When it comes to Disney crossover couples, there is one that is more popular than anything else. Elsa is a queen with some icy powers. She's shipped with lots of characters because she doesn't have a love interest in Frozen.
Anna, what do you know about true love?
Then there's Jack Frost from DreamWorks' Rise of the Guardians. Just like Elsa, he is able to manipulate ice and snow. Elsa is a fierce, no-nonsense woman. Jack Frost is a total rebel. Their personalities would definitely make for an awesome, hilarious relationship. And if they combined powers, they could freeze everything. Elsa and Jack Frost are totally made for each other. There are so many great stories with these two characters, but one of the best is on Archive of Our Own. Snowflakes Fall and So Do I was written by Crazy Animation Chick. It's a great romance story. We love the way Elsa is portrayed in this fic. This story is also a crossover with How to Train Your Dragon and Brave, and Rapunzel and Moana make an appearance too. It's an animated masterpiece. Elsa and Jack Frost are such a cool couple. Get it? Who is your Disney crossover OTP? Don't be shy. Let us know in the comments. Those are the 10 Disney crossover couples that we love to ship in the fanfic world. Give this video a big thumbs up and click that subscribe button for more awesome content.